Thank you.
Selah Sue, welcome to the Bing Lounge and welcome to Portland. Is this your first time here?
It's the very first time.
And you're here in such a beautiful day.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, like the trees and everything. It's
I know,
perfect.
we have trees. And
you have trees? It's amazing.
You could write a song about that. Opening up for a sold-out show with Ed Sheeran at the Roseland tonight. You have had a huge impact already in Europe, really on the strength of this one album. And so many big names have come to you. There's something about your music that it's attracted Prince and CeeLo Green and Michelle Ndegeocello, some great names that we love here. But that was not in your mind as a little girl. You're growing up in Leuven. And shout out to Milo, by the way.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Please do. You were not, that's not what you were thinking when you were a little girl. What were you doing when you just, you know?
Yeah, actually, I never really grew up in a musical family or something, you know. It's really, I had to discover myself by... you know, I had a really, really hard puberty, you know, to get older. That was really hard for me to accept who I was. So for me, it was a kind of therapy or something. And I just discovered when I was about 14 or 15, pretty late actually, that I had a voice and that I had a pretty good hearing. So I think the combination of both, that's why this came out. And I started listening to music like Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, as well as raga, you know, also hip hop. I listened to a lot of things. And then, this came out.
And so you started writing music on the guitar, or what was the thing that got you out there? See, you're singing in little cafes and things.
Well, I started out playing guitar classical, so I did 2 years of classical training, and that's how I learned picking on the guitar. But it was really like Beethoven and Bach, so I quit it because it was so boring. And then I learned chords by myself through the internet. And then, you know, like I said, I had a lot to say. You know, my whole first album is about self-acceptance. You know, so all songs were about that. So that's how I started to write songs.
And I love this story about how you're writing your songs as this teenager, really, and you're posting them to MySpace, and somehow it attracts the attention of a lot of fans. What happened then?
Yeah, you know, it was actually Milo, I mean, who took me on tour. It was amazing. I started study psychology, really in the thought that I would become psychologist when I was 18. But I had like 2 songs and I played in a little bar, and Milo was there, a big artist in Europe, actually.
And he's in the Bing, so yeah.
Yeah. And he took me on tour and he really forced me to write more songs and and that's, you know, how I got like a live reputation a bit in Belgium, because it's really small, you know. And then when my album came out, it really it worked out. It was cool.
The interesting thing about your music to me is that it doesn't seem to have any boundaries. Like everything is on the plate, you know, the funk and the pop and the rock and hip hop, reggae, as you say.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a genre busting kind of a style. Like, you know, I really, really like a lot what you're doing. You know? Very cool.
I think it's really because I'm as much into jazz and electronic music than I'm into hip hop and soul music. So this is only my first album. I mean, I want to do a lot of things, and I think I just listened a lot and then absorbed all those things, and then I just want to do it because I love everything to sing it.
So forget about the psychology, right? The that's that could be for later sometime.
It's not going to happen, I think.
Parents are going, oh, come on,
It was really interesting, though. It was really interesting, the study, you know. But I think you learn much more psychology by traveling and meeting people and experience things than in books, you know. So.
And so here you are traveling with Ed Sheeran. How has that been? Do you guys get together and go, wow, here we are?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he's so big here. It's incredible. I mean, the girls go crazy. I mean, that's a bit the atmosphere of every day, you know. But they're really sweet for me as well, because I thought, you know, I'm a girl. I'm performing for him. They're gonna catch, you know, to my eyes. But they're really sweet and then really cool, and it's been amazing. Everything is well organized, which is really nice if you're touring, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you in Portland. It's wonderful to meet you and wonderful to meet your really exciting music. Selah Sue in the Bing Lounge. Let's hear some more.
Yes. The next song is the first song I ever wrote.